Hey everyone, A Haunting in Venice brings murder mystery into the realm of the mystical in this new film based on Agatha Christie's novel featuring Kenneth Branagh as Hercule Poirot. This is the third film featuring Branagh as Poirot, and I guess that kind of makes it a series. The third film in a series is always notorious for either being really good or really bad. So, where does A Haunting in Venice land? Can't wait to get into this one, but first, be sure to hit subscribe for more videos to appease the YouTube gods. Thank you so much. So, is A Haunting in Venice a good time? Well, there's a lot to this film. What's great about it is that it doesn't feel like a third film. If you have never read an Agatha Christie novel or seen a Hercule Poirot film before, it doesn't matter. You won't care. It's a standalone story that takes a little extra time to stand itself up. But other than that, it's a strong film on its own merits with interesting characters, a compelling plot, and a series of twists that are going to keep you guessing. Famed detective Hercule Poirot is pretty much done with solving murders. He's out, he's done, he's retired, doesn't want to get back into the business of the dead. But a friend, a mystery author, Ariadne Oliver, played by Tina Fey, convinces him to help her spot the con that she is missing with a mystic who supposedly can speak to the dead. Since Ariadne can't figure it out, she asks Poirot for his help, unraveling the mystery of how the woman pulls off her seances. No deaths involved, or so he thinks. They arrive at a beautiful, supposedly haunted villa for the seance, which is organized by a grieving mother who is desperate to talk to her dead daughter. All of this takes place right after a special Halloween party for orphans hosted in the villa. Not scary at all. And right before a huge storm hits the watery city of Venice, trapping the seance guests inside the house until the weather clears. The perfect scene for a murder. What's really wonderful about this film is that it adds a fresh twist to the big house murder mystery by brilliantly blending elements of the occult with traditional murder mysteries that kind of keep you guessing about what's real and what's not as Poirot unravels the mystery. Sounds great, doesn't it? Well, but is it any good? A Haunting in Venice leaves me with two key observations to answer that question. One is good. One is maybe bad. So let's go with the good news first. The film is peppered with clues that will keep you guessing. And just as you figure something out, they throw a twist at you. It's a clever and smart film without being too clever or too smart for its own good. And it never makes you feel stupid, nor does it pull clues from the sky to tie up into a neat bow at the end. It's more like a mental game of Twister because the twists just keep coming and coming. And it's a lot of fun to sort the real clues from the mystical clues. And you can't help but to wonder if some of those mystical clues are actually real clues. Is it really haunted? Is it a big con? Is it both? You really don't know, and that keeps you engaged and enjoying the film right up to the end. It's especially fun to walk through the clues with someone like Poirot because he is a cynic who is seeing things that he can't quite explain, which helps to sustain the mystery of the film. Since he only believes in what he can see, test, and prove, he is the perfect detective for the case. He goes through really great moments of growth in the film as he experiences doubt and weakness, as he struggles to uncover the truth while making sense of his own odd experiences. Some of his reveals are fun and startling, and the payoff for how he figures out certain things is always fascinating, leaving you feel like you should have noticed it too, but you probably didn't. Or if you did notice it, It was all just misdirection to keep you from looking at what's right in front of you. And I love that. So the bad news. The initial setup is pretty slow. Since the story stands on its own, it takes extra time to set up Poirot's character, the setting, and the mystery itself. Depending on your preference for a fast-paced film, the opening may feel especially slow for you. However, I didn't mind it very much because I loved seeing Venice and getting reacquainted with Poirot's life, his state of mind, and his personality. Also, his way of seeing the world around him. Part of that setup also includes the introduction of the story that makes the locals think that the Venetian villa is haunted, which is done in the form of a shadow box show for the children during the Halloween party. I loved this part because the shadow box and the puppetry are things that I really enjoy watching, and the artistry used in this film was very nicely done. The film could have easily started with Poirot arriving for the seance, skipping entirely the Halloween elements and the villa's history lesson. But I think those elements are where the magic happens in the film. Without them, it would have lacked its spooky originality and would have just been another whodunit in a big house. It really sets the atmosphere for the entire film, and it feeds kind of the fuel for the fire in the setup. Once the medium arrives, the story kicks into gear. The medium, Mrs. Reynolds, is played by Yeoh, who does a fantastic job with the role. You can't quite figure out, is she a con artist or not? And she plays up that dichotomy in a sincere and believable way. It's as if she wants you to be questioning the truth because it keeps you from paying attention to the real clues that will help you unravel a mystery. The film is just over 90 minutes, and while the setup is slow, it provides a really nice foundation for the murderous action that takes place. And once things start happening, they happen fast, and the story flies by in a whirlwind of clues and revelations and fascinating and satisfying bits. Overall, despite any slowness or defects, it's a great movie for the fall season. Its release in mid-September is perfectly timed for the spooky blend of scenery and storytelling that is A Haunting in Venice. All right, that's all I have for now, but be sure to subscribe for more videos because the fall season is absolutely packed with films this year. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Bye.